Hello YouTube, my name is Charlie, I am the Kaiba Corp intern, and we are back with another card art critique. This one is thanks to my moderator, Blitzgasher. They wanted us to do the Gem Nights for all the card arts, and at first I was like, oh bet, let's totally do it, let's do Gem Nights. Then I found out how many Gem Night cards there really are. So we're going through 42 card artworks today. We're not going to get through it if we don't start somewhere. So let's start now, let's dive on in. So starting off, we have Absorb Fusion, and you have Master Diamond, kind of like war-torn, looks like he got his arm blown off, but he's going to be fusing in other crystals to power him up and bring him back into the battle. I like the look. I like that you have the different gems for Brilliant, or for Master Diamond being absorbed into him. The fact that his arm is kind of blown away shows that he's seen some shit, and he's about to try to power up again, come back to the field. Master Diamond is a badass looking card, so any card that he shows up in, we're probably going to put decently high up there. The purplish, pinkish, reddish swirl in the background is kind of nice. I think I'm going to put this one at high B. High B to kick us off with Absorb Fusion. After Absorb Fusion, we have Alexandrite, Gem Knight Alexandrite, who is almost as gemmed out as Master Diamond themselves. I mean, they got gems all over. They got the purplish magenta in the middle and on the crown, green on the arms, you got some red on the other arm, blue and green on the knees. Just like a very knightly looking knight. Gem Knight, looks like a knight. Pretty clean design, white armor, different colored gems in the background. The streaks and like the stardusty kind of look in the background is kind of nice too. Probably gonna put it right below Absorb Fusion, right below. After Alexandrite, we got Amber. I like Amber's little almost like puppety face that's on their actual armor. It looks like it's not their real face. They look very almost like a lethal, like a little assassin with the mask and the little lightning sword that they have. The little spark in the hand is cool too. The thunderbolts on the chest, little lightning bolts, even on the mask, even on the head, there's little lightning bolts coming out of the amber stone there. Lightning everywhere. It looks great. I mean, they've really kind of just sold us on this being the Thunder Gem Knight card. It's very clear that it is. I think we're gonna put Amber probably like a little bit lower. Next up, we got Amethyst, Gem Knight Amethyst. I don't really know what's going on with their water gun sword thing coming out of their arm. Like, I don't know if they're shooting water or if it's like a lightsaber, like a constant kind of like saber of water always there. The water shield looks really cool. Purple armor for the amethyst coming out of the shoulder blades is neat. But the gun sword beam thing confuses me. I love the headpiece, that you have like the hair coming out of the headpiece too. The blue trim coming down the legs. But the water gun just kind of throws me off. I think we're gonna put Amethyst in a C tier. Water gun. So odd. After Amethyst, you have Aquamarine. You have the hood, which is kind of nice. The shield, which is also a sword. I love that kind of look. You can kind of protect, but also like punch with the sword at the same time. Or slice, I guess, as well. I like the kind of wavy shield design that's also on their chest. Nothing really too nuanced about them. I think Aquamarine's probably going to be a C tier. Alright, Brilliant Fusion. The banned card. The banned card, Brilliant Fusion. As I said before on this channel and in these card art critiques, I'm not a big fan of polymerization cards that just kind of throw in a different design for the cards being used as polymerization. But Gem Knights, they really made it their own. They have the gem in the middle. You have the knightly looking cards that have the gems in the chest and the headpiece being used for material, the gems all around. This card is iconic, and a secret rare looks amazing too. So I think Brilliant Fusion is going to be our first A tier. Just a very beautiful polymerization or like fusion spell. One of my favorites to look at. A tier for Brilliant Fusion. Moving on next to Brilliant Rose, which is Crystal Rose but blue. It has what could be potentially a crystal leaf. I guess at least pretty crystalline. Yeah. Crystal Rose, crystal leaf, purple background. Gem Knights look so much cooler than this. D tier. D tier for Brilliant Rose. Brilliant Spark. F tier. I hate this card. It's just a little bit of lightning breaking a gem. Next up, we got Citrine. The lava magma fusion dude that's a pyro fusion. Really badass looking knight. I like the arms being almost what makes them have the magma power. It's like, you know, designed to be like, all right, it's just their arms. It's very controlled, very contained. It turns their sword into magma or lava, or maybe it's already always been magma or lava. I like the kind of lava color palette, the brown and the red, the charcoaly cape. I think Citrine's gonna probably be like a deserving C. After Citrine, we have Crystal Rose. Crystal Rose is gonna be F tier, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Crystal Rose, F tier. I like Brilliant Rose better. Crystal Rose looks even worse. It's just not even got a gem background. It's like a watery, shadowy haze of a background. I really don't like Crystal Rose. I don't like Brilliant Rose either. It's why it's a D tier, but Crystal Rose is even worse. F tier for me. Gem Knight Crystal, the like Neos of the Gem Knights. I really like the design. I think the most like objectively classical knight look out of all of them, from the helmet down to the armor plates on like the waist and the thighs. I love the diamond. This thing has to be so fucking strong. It's got diamond armlets. These things have to be weighing a ton on them. Crystal, because they're such a knight, such an icon for me, I think I'm putting Crystal in a very high B, and we're probably gonna put them above Alexandrite even. Next up, we got Emerald. Emerald's kind of neat. I like the little mini shield, kind of like a little brawler defender, bopping people with them, but also defending blocks with them too. That's kind of how I imagine them using their equipment. Very windy, the little wind, I guess like symbols on their knees and on their chest. They have the emerald in their forehead and on the shoulder pieces and the shield and also the center and the oh, and even the knees too. A little bit of emerald all over. The kind of cat-like mask is interesting, but not really for me for the Gem Knights. I feel like that part doesn't really fit the look too much. The whisker eye slots makes me think of like the hater shades a little bit. Probably gonna put emerald. Probably gonna put them right below aquamarine. Fragment Fusion. This card looks it looks like it came out like when Yu-Gi-Oh was first released. It has a very old school vibe to me. It feels like Metal Raiders artwork kind of thing. You have Gem Knight Crystal, they're kind of like falling down. It looks, actually, you know what, I'm gonna put a side by side. This artwork looks a lot like Acid Trap Hole, with that guy in armor falling down the hole. That's what I'm thinking of. That's why I think of an old card when I see this. We've seen better in Brilliant Fusion as far as like gems being used for fusion material. So it's kind of a dulled down version of that, but I really like the classic look. It feels very old school. So I'm probably gonna rate this in, I'm probably gonna put it a little bit below Alexandrite. Gem Knight Garnet. The reason why we call bricks in decks one-ofs that you don't want to draw garnets is because of this card. But I'll tell you what, and if anyone else can understand the anatomy of this card, let me know. But I do not understand what's happening with their, hold on, I'm gonna imitate this pose. They're going here, and they have like a fist down like this way. And I don't know any scenario where this is a battle pose. Like he's got a hand, I think it's a fist of fire, kind of like swinging down, but the other hand is like up. And it confuses the gosh dang hell out of me. I really don't know what's going on with this pose. I love the armor. The little like earpiece things that the mask slides up on is really sweet, how it's like two flames. I love the design. But the pose is just so baffling to me. I don't get it. I don't understand whatever this is. So, only gripe I have. Honestly, Garnet would probably be an A tier otherwise, but I'm putting Garnet in B tier because that freaking pose is just so weird. I'm actually gonna put him above. I mean, honestly, I really like Garnet's design. The complementary colors of the orange and the blue, I love it. But the pose drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Gem Armadillo. The first of the non-Knight gem cards. Gem Armadillo's got these kind of like torpedoes on their back though. Like Capsule Corp capsule torpedoes on their back. And I really, really don't like whatever that gem is coming out of the base of their tail. You know what? The more I look at this, the more I hate it. No legs, just arms. That Fupa gem is really disturbing me. Okay, Gem Armadillo. Are putting in a high F. Gem Elephant, much better in my opinion. You got the gem tusks, which is awesome. You got the underbelly being gem, which kind of like is armor for them. So if any animal gets underneath them and tries to like attack from below, they got the ruby kind of gem to protect them. Even their little elephant nails are the gems too. Beautiful. I like this one. Gem Elephant's getting a B tier. I like the Knights way more. If it's going to be in B tier, then we just got to put them below them, but it's going to be in B tier for sure. Gem Enchantment. I could not find a very high quality picture of this card. It's pretty close, but it's a little bit kind of pixelated, so apologies on that one. Looks good. It's kind of Gem Knight Garnet being like a sports arena for a moment. Lights everywhere. Spotlights just, reflecting light, shooting light off into the skies. Almost like they're casting a million Batman logos into the air. I'm thinking I'm going to put Gem Enchantment right above Citrine. Next up, Gem Merchant. This little Final Fantasy motherfucker, dude. This little Final Fantasy guy. It looks like a little buddy. Once again, kind of like the Gem Elephant, where I kind of like how it's just like a gem version of a thing. This is a little mystical merchant. He's got a little gem in his torso, gems coming out of the arms. Got his cool wizard hat. Even the hat has a little gem design on it. I love him. Looks like a Digimon almost too. Digimon / Final Fantasy. Can't be all that bad. Merchant, you are going to be... Oh, wait, I skipped one. We'll get back to that one in a moment. Merchant, you're going to be right above Elephant. Because you look so companion-y. I skipped Gem Knight Fusion. Let's correct that. Gem Knight Fusion, not quite as colorful and flary as Brilliant Fusion, but it does look nice. You have like the stained glass in the background. You have a much better look at the exact gems being used for the fusion. I like the stained glass design in the background, but I really like the colorful, over-the-top brightness of Brilliant Fusion is a little bit more. So Gem Knight Fusion is probably going to be in the B tier, but pretty high up. Probably going to put it right above Absorb Fusion, but below Garnet. Gem Turtle. Gem Turtle, once again, little gem buddy. You guessed it. The gem has to be on his back because the shell's the most protected spot. But once again, like the elephant, you got the little gem toenails and the little gem dome dude. And I like they got even the little spikes on the shell too. Little spikes on the perimeter. A defensive guy, a defensive bud. Blitz says I'm a Gem Elephant and Crystal Mammoth are friends in my mind. Yeah, they're friends, they're buddies. Turtle for me, I think is gonna be right between Elephant and Merchant. I really like Merchant the most, just because of the wizard hat. Just adorable to me. Next up, we got the one that I don't really quite know how to pronounce. Maybe someone in the comments can help me. Iolite? I-O-L-I-T-E? Eolite? Iolite? Anyways, Iolite is shooting this kind of like boomerang-shaped shot out of their arm cannon. Very spacey. Very like sci-fi, outer space ranger kind of look. Very unique arm, shoulder pads with like the little streaks down the middle. I like kind of like chainmail skirt under the main defensive piece there, whatever you would call that. I think Iolite's gonna be pretty high up there for me. I love this design. I think I'm actually gonna put it above Absorb Fusion too. Moving on to Lady Brilliant Diamond, which is a great monster in the deck, but the artwork is so basic. She's just like turning around. The design is so plain. Just got like very, very basic color, just like the tan, the red cape. The sword is even very dull. Just the colorless diamonds, the clear white diamonds, the slightly green eyes, the shoulder pads that make no sense. Looks like a Destiny Hero shoulder pad set. She stole some Destiny Hero shoulder pads. Even the arms too. Like why is her arms these little tubes that then become bigger and like segmented like this? Lady Brilliant Diamond is gonna be a D tier for me, guys. D tier. Honestly, I like Brilliant Rose more than Brilliant Diamond, and that's saying something. Lady Rose Diamond has the Brilliant Rose on the like ear slot, I guess, and on the hilts of the sword too. Plus, you have much cooler like design for armor. You have, whoa. Look at the, they're not called heels, they're called platforms. Look at the crystal platforms on their shoes. That's so cool, actually. All right, I like that a lot already. But I was also mentioning the, or I was trying to mention the ones on the side of her hips, a little protection there. I like the chest plate a lot, being separate from the rest of the armor. Gem down below, gem up top by the collar. The arms are a lot less goofy looking than Brilliant Diamond. All right, Lady Rose Diamond, A tier. A tier above Brilliant Fusion for me. Lapis Lazuli. Lapis Lazuli is just a great little shaman. She's just doing like the hands out shaman pose. She's got this cool like dress below the like roby cape thing. I think shaman is the best way to wrap it up. I like the blue and the white being kind of sliced in the middle, different design there, kind of showing off or trying to portray like layers, even though it's all one piece. And I like their little, it's not their hair, it's like the headpiece that comes down. Like their hair's in the back and they have this kind of cool front crown that's also their hair, maybe? I like the colors a lot. I like the glowing yellow and orange kind of crystals floating up behind her. I think we're gonna put Lapis Lazuli also in a high B. I think we're actually gonna put that above Garnet for me. Now the components of Lapis Lazuli are kind of just like boring versions of Lapis Lazuli. You have Lapis, who's just very basic. It's just like Lapis, it's just like this kind of awkward collection of rocks. Doesn't really look that neat. Yeah, I'm putting Lapis in like a D tier, honestly, right up. Yeah, honestly, I like the rose better. I like the rose better. Lazuli, I like a little bit more, and it's just that simple. Just a little bit more. Whoa. And it's because the green eyes look a little bit more kind of like virtual worldy. It's very similar rocks, kind of being boring, but design-wise, I like the long hair. I like the twin tail kind of thing. No gem in the chest, kind of awkward. I just like this design a little bit more. This could be very, very arbitrary, but slightly a bit more of an improvement compared to Lapis. Master motherfreaking Diamond. coolest sword in almost all of Yu-Gi-Oh history. This sword is nuts. It's got all the gems right down the blade. Super sick. The hilt's badass. The hilt's got a cool pattern in the centerpiece, kind of going off into the crossguard. And then the like Thanos Infinity Gauntlet looking fist they're making is just so insane with all the lights shining out of their fist. The horns on their helmet for the crystals, super sick. The heavy plated waist, the huge shoulder pads coming out almost higher than the horns of their helmet. Their hand themselves, even their arms, like their actual body is crystal. Their hand is crystal itself, holding the sword. Just an amazing card. Master Diamond, this cannot be a surprise. Has to be an S tier. Correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that just makes this a guaranteed S tier is that I'm pretty sure with the colors in the background, like the red on top, I think that's Garnet's face. But you have like other Gem Knight faces in the background to kind of like show off the power of Master Diamond. It's so cool, and it rockets us to S tier for Master Diamond. Easy. Obsidian is a bit odd to me. You have this prayer bracelet kind of around Obsidian. I can't really tell what it's really doing for him. You got this like very bucket-y head, and I know I know that slot like in the helmet is supposed to be what they're looking out of, but because they have these two little like designs above the helmet, above the eye slot, it looks like that's like these are their eyes, and the slot is like its mouth, and it's making like a very just flat face, like a very face. So it looked a bit goofy to me. I think I'm putting Obsidian in like high D because of like a comical reasons. It just looks really funny to me. So I'm actually gonna put it above Brilliant Rose. Next up, we got Particle Fusion. F tier. F tier. It's just gems with a little bit of light in the background. It's above Brilliant Spark. It's definitely above Brilliant Spark, but not by much. Above Armadillo too. Well, honestly, Armadillo's gonna be dead last. I don't know what it was doing that high up on F tier all this time. Particle Fusion, high F tier. I hate Armadillo so much. I'm sorry, buddy, but you are just disgusting. Gem Knight Pearl. I love this card. The downward perspective, or I should say upward perspective. We are down, but we're looking up, and just like the badass, like just, oh, is that you down there? You little person? You need help? You need a Gem Knight to come save you? Pff, okay, I bet I can do it, and I don't even have any effects. That's the attitude that I get from Pearl. Just snooty, doesn't even need an effect to be cool. The attitude's amazing. I love the clean design. Pearl, they look very Pearl-like. The head is circular like a pearl, and it's just a very beautiful, clean, white design. Pearl, because of the cool badass pose and the really nice, neat design, and you're being stepped on by Pearl too. Pearl's stepping on you. I'm putting Pearl like high A. I'm actually putting Pearl at the top of A right now. I really love it. I really love it. Blitz says Pearl is stanced up. I'm saying, seriously. Oh, and next up we got Phantom Quartz. The long flowing hair. You can actually like see like the knight within the gems, the knight within the armor. You see their face, their eyes, their nose, their mouth. You can see their like almost like struggle to like either control the gem power or to like use their power to deconstruct and help their companions. An angelic form of crystal almost. Like this is Gem Knight Crystal turned into an angel. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's actually almost what it is. He's got the same design. Look at the chest. He's got the same pectoral pattern, center pattern, the same wrist. Wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. I'm doing a side-by-side. Gem Knight Crystal, Gem Knight Phantom Quartz. Gem Knight Crystal, Gem Knight Phantom Quartz. This is the same fucking monster. I just realized this is the same exact monster. Hell yeah. Alright. Phantom Quartz is a Link monster version of Gem Knight Crystal. This is so fucking cool. S tier. S tier. S tier. Right below. S tier. So sick. Holy shit. Dude is having an epiphany live, says Blitz. You're not wrong. That's what's happening. That's so cool. All right. Phantom Quartz S tier. I love that. I love that. Prismora looks like an evil Gem Knight. This is one I would not want to. Like, if I was a Gem Knight and, like, Master Diamond said, dude, you're in trouble. You gotta go talk to Prismora. I'd be like, no, please. Not them. Because they look evil. They have, like, the riveted head, the riveted face. You have, like, the center spike, demon horns, like Master Diamond. And like their pose is awesome, like very like ultimate defense, ultimate attack. They're no weak points. They're tucked in with their shield. Their joust is ready to go. You don't have a blind spot on this guy. Just completely attack, defend. Oh, it just looks incredible. The lightning in the background, the blue shattered fragments behind them as well. This card looks sick. I love it. The shield's a bit odd with like that kind of green coming out of the shield, but everything else, I'm a huge fan of. I love that this guy has like the evil look. Once again, I'm gonna mention it for a second time. The riveted face really sells me on the evilness, and then the fact that their mask is kind of pulled up. They want to see their enemy. They don't want any obstruction. Wicked. Prismara actually also an S tier. Actually, you know what? I love their face. Their face and their horns is too good. Right above Fainting Quartz, right up below Master Diamond. Pyroxene Fusion has Prismara on the artwork, but a bit less like detailed. They kind of like flashed it up so that way you can't really see as much things going on with their design, and you're focusing more on the gems being used for the fusion there. It doesn't really scratch the same things as the other fusion cards. I don't like that they kind of made Prismara not look as great as Prismara does look in this one. So Pyroxene Fusion is probably going to be like low C tier. I think a little bit better than Emerald. Yeah, right there. Gemnite Quartz. This is one of the new support cards. You got the little heals, you got the gems on the knee pads, the little kind of like knight slash crown helmet thing with the gems coming out on the top two. Nice little cape. The background's kind of cool. How you see almost like the quartz being mined. And you have like the background where it's not actually quartz, but like quartz behind some like dirt and behind some cave rock. So it's kind of neat. It's got the lazuli thing where there's no gem in the chest. So that's a bit odd to me, but I like the design. Very clean armor design. And I like the pose. I'm thinking I'm going to put quartz in like high C. Actually, you know what? Low B even. Low B. A little bit above Fragment Fusion. Yeah, right here. Right below Alexandrite. I like that spot. Ruby. Ruby's like upgraded Garnet, and I really like it because of that. Doesn't quite pop as much as Garnet does, but I like the kind of like scythe, axey, halberdy thing that they have in their hand. I wish I could get a full art of it so I could see what the top of their weapon looks like, but the same kind of cool design as the helmet of Garnet, with the flames coming out for the helmet piece on the sides, the rubies on the shoulder pads and on the waist as well. Nice blue cape, kind of the fire design on the head and the fire design in the chest. The blue trim coming down the middle of the torso and the legs and the arms. The flame hand guard too. Ruby's probably going to be middle of B also. I think Ruby's going to be right above Quartz. Sapphire is the biggest defense out of the normal monsters. So I love that the artwork is defense for that. I think it's got 2,100 defense, if I'm right. But I love that you show off in the card artwork the defensive power of the card. So that way the player, before even looking at the stats, kind of be like, I should probably use this card as a like defensive option. Like if you look at it, it makes more sense for it to be that way. I like the kind of hood thing that Aquamarine had that Sapphire also has. I'm sure Aquamarine's just an upgraded Sapphire. The same thing with the chest pattern. The action pose is really cool. I mean, you have like these fireballs, these like fire orbs being thrown down, and Sapphire's like, no, protect. So I love that action pose. I think Sapphire for me, because of that actiony kind of sequence going on, is going to be very close to high B. I think it's going to be actually above Garnet. I like it a little bit more because unlike Garnet, I understand what Sapphire is doing. Garnet's still confusing to me. I don't know, like with the arm thing. I just don't get it. Sardonyx is weird looking to me. Sardonyx looks like a mole with their little helmet thing, very pointy. They have like the Morning Star chain thing. I'm sure that Sardonyx has that pattern, but I don't like the weird wavy pattern of their armor. Doesn't look like a knight. I wouldn't want to call this guy into my team. If I saw all the Gem Knights lined up for like picking dodgeball teams, Sardonyx would be one of my last ones. I don't like the look of him. D tier. D tier for Sardonyx. Probably right below the road. Honestly, right here. Scatter Fusion. This card is so cool because it has the same thing that Master Diamond has in the background, where you see like the other Gem Knight monsters. This card, you see it right there in the middle, the gems reflecting all of the Gem Knight monsters that you can make from the extra deck. You got Prismara down there, Seraphonite on the bottom as well. You got them all in there, and it's super cool the fact that you can see the gems on the outside, the reflections on the inside. I love the look of it. It's awesome. So Scatter Fusion, because of all the little fusions showing up in the artwork, it's gonna be, I'm putting in S tier. right below Phantom Quartz. Seeing all their little faces ready to go is so sick to me. Seraphinite. Seraphinite looks very angelic, very fairy-like to represent the fusion material and the monster typing. The wings are awesome. You have the almost claw design on the hilt of the sword, which is kind of interesting. That's actually the first time I noticed that. I like that weird claw hilt on the sword. I like the blue trim on the waist of the armor. I like kind of the, instead of gems for horns, Seraphinite has like a part of their armor for the headpiece being the horns going downward, which is pretty neat for a look. The purple inside of the cape with the white outside of the cape. I love that detail. Seraphinite, very emotionless, very like killer but angel-y. And for that, low A. Whoa. Low A, not B, low A. Topaz. So Topaz has kind of like the garnet ears, which is interesting. It's kind of like garnet fused with the thunder one. The flame earpiece, the red trim on the gold armor, flamey thigh pieces too, thigh guards. But then you have the thunderbolt arms, the thunderbolt sword. I think this is actually, is this kind of like a gun sword? Is that what that's supposed to be? I don't know what the middle part is, but it's like an arrow, almost implying that you can do like gun sword moves, which is kind of cool to think about if that's the case. But the every time I see gold and red or like red and yellow, my mind just kind of goes to like McDonald's, and I hate that. So I don't like the look of red and yellow together. I mean, it's a cool design. I just don't like the color palette that much. C tier, but high up there, right below enchantment. Well, not even. Nope, I lied. Just above emerald. Just above emerald. That's it. Tourmaline, the thunder one. This guy's so cool. I think, I don't know why, but I associate Tourmaline with Duel Links. I think that Tourmaline was like playable when Duel Links first came out, maybe, with like other Gem Knight cards. Maybe I'm just crazy. I'm thinking about something else completely. I like Tourmaline's mask slash helmet. It's kind of like a weird helmet in the back, but they slapped a mask on in the front, but it's also made out of like helmet material. It's kind of odd, but I like it. The thundering shoulder pieces are neat. The watt conductors coming out of the arms to create the thunder, to create the energy is pretty hype. I love that. It's like they're using the conductors to channel the tourmaline to create electricity. And I like that idea. Cool pose, kind of coming in to like jump and like slam it down on him like a volleyball, like bam. Could be pretty sick. I think tourmaline is gonna be, actually, you know what? We're gonna put some of the vanillas together. Last one, non-effect guy, just a rock monster, Gem Knight monster. He's got big battering rams for arms, just big punching things. I mean, it'd be lights out if you got hit by this dude. Just lights out immediately. Life out, not just lights out. Life done. Face obliterated. You got these diamond punchers, the gem in the middle. Just, I mean, as far as raw power goes, ignore stats, ignore attack and defense. As far as raw power goes, Zirconia looks like the most heavy hitting Gem Knight out of them all. Just an absolute unit. So Zirconia, for me, the design is just so powerful, so just chunky and beastly. I'm putting Zirconia actually in low A. Well, here we are. Tier list is done. I'm gonna do one quick final scan through to see if there's anything I really just disagree with. I'm actually gonna put Topaz right above Pyroxene Fusion just because I like it as a complete design a bit more. Pyroxene Fusion being Prismara looking less good makes me not want to put it above a decently looking good Gem Knight. I think the Topaz Shuffle is going to be the one thing we change. Now I think we can lock it in. I'm feeling comfortable with it. Thank you guys for sticking around. Everyone in Twitch, I appreciate you guys for sharing your comments. Blitz, MVP, thank you for being here for the one you recommended. And let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Are there any ratings that I put way down below that you think should be way higher up, or vice versa? If you found the video or myself entertaining, go ahead and drop me a like. I really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Gem Knight cards in general. The artworks, your favorite Gem Knight card for effect or for artwork. Always love seeing you guys type stuff up down there and reading the comments. And lastly, if you like this video, if you want to check out any other content on the channel and you like what you see, go ahead and drop me a subscribe and click the notification bell down below right next to it. That way, you'll be in the loop for any more future releases we put on the channel. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time. I gotta get back to work. And you all gotta take care of each other. Peace.